Welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with the Boston Bruins. It is time for Game 7 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal matchup against the Detroit Red Wings. Two very evenly matched teams. This series has gone the full 7. If you look at the schedule, we lost Game 1 7-2, won Game 2 8-1, won Game 3 2-1, lost Game 4 4-1, won Game 5 5-1, and we lost our last game. We didn't even finish it. This was the first game that we had played that I simmed through. We were down 6-1, I believe, in the third period before I finally threw up the white flag and said, let's just move on to another day here, and that's what we're going to do, and we're moving on to Game 7. So if we win, we advance. If we lose, we go to the off-season. So let's go. Any changes I want to make? No, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Marchand, Couturier, Pasternak, DeBrusk, Lindholm, Wahlstrom, Newhook, Giroux, Gunther, Kamel, Coyle, Cristal, McAvoy, Fox, Carlo, Grzelcyk, Vakanainen, McIsaac with Swayman in net. We have to figure out a way to stop Dylan Larkin, who has 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points in 6 games in this series. So let's see how we do. Jeremy Swayman with the .888 save percentage in this playoff series. Not very good. So we get a couple of shots on early. Another shot by Pasternak. That's 4 shots early on by Pasternak. And we don't score. So keep an eye on number 71 in white and red. That's the one we want to keep an eye out for. Put 3 players around him every time he touches the puck. So we will play as many as 3 games in this series. If we win, we'll go on to the Eastern Conference semis, where we'll play elimination games there. If we lose, we'll go to the off-season, and we'll sim ahead to the start of next season. So we'll play as little as 1 game and as many as 3. So we'll see how this game goes. Before we do anything, here comes Marchand. He turns it over. So yeah, it's been a few days since I've recorded. I've been doing the real thing, actually. I had a hockey game I had to do yesterday, which precluded me from getting out and doing any recording. And on Friday, I was closing on the refinance of a house, so I wasn't home all day on Friday. So yeah, I haven't recorded much lately. But this is what, like I said, as they get on the board first, Moritz Seider from Kasperi Kapanen. So we're in the hole here early, 1-0. So once, and I mentioned this in, I don't know if it was my last Franchise Hockey Manager game, but the When Out of the Park Baseball comes out on Friday, that's obviously going to add to my, and we tie it up. Very nice. Alex Newhook from Giroux and Gunther. That's going to add to my rotation. So instead of basically getting a game every 3 days, you're going to get a game every 5. Until I can win a championship in one of my three current playthroughs, I'm going to keep going with all of them for the foreseeable future. I may give up at some point, but I'm not at that point yet with this one, with my Celtics Draft Day Sports playthrough or my New Hampshire Draft Day Sports college basketball playthrough. So we'll just sort of have to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, as we win, we'll drop one off the playthrough, and once we get down to 3, I'll start to look at maybe something else to bring into it. And it might not even be a sports game. There's some other games I enjoy playing. I'm a newly addicted Minecraft player, 45 years old. I picked up Minecraft for the first time about 3 weeks ago, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm not very good at it. My builds look like, something that you would get from a 5-year-old, but I'm having a lot of fun, and that's all that matters. So I'm a Minecraft fan. I love playing the Civilization games, Kasperi Kapanen going for interference. So it's not just all sports games for me. I do like some strategy type games and games where I can just chill. And there is nothing more chill than Minecraft, right? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll add something other than sports related content. I should have another interview coming up this week as well, so I've got a lot going on. Enough to keep the channel satiated for the time being. So down to the final minute of the first period, still 1-1. They get a shot right at the end of the period, and that's it. So shots are even at 11. About an even period as you can get. Shots are even at 11. We get a goal from Newhook. They get a goal from Sider, and it's 1-1 going to the second. Here comes Marchand. Couple of shots early. And Detroit goes in offsides. Yeah, hopefully we can win. I feel like we put together and we're losing, just as I say that. Zucker from Zadina and Pionk. Yeah, I feel like we put together a pretty good team, honestly. Our goaltending has been a problem, and I don't really know why. We have a 3.5-star starter and a potential 4-star backup. So I'm not really sure what the issue is. Our second line hasn't been great most of the year, but it's talented. It's got talent on it with DeBrusk, Wahlstrom, and right now it was Giroux most of the year. So yeah, I don't know. There have been some pieces that didn't play as well as I would have anticipated, but I feel like we put together a good team. So we'll take a look at what happens in the offseason and see what we can do to improve things. And we are going to have some, I don't want to say some difficult contract decisions. I think once the season's over, if we can get an offer for Charlie Coyle, I will take it. Not that he's not playing well, but I just don't feel like paying. I don't feel that paying my fourth line center, $4.5 million is a good use of my money. There's an attempt by Giroux. It's going to be icing. We're going to say goodbye to Matt Grzelcyk, more than likely, as when everybody's healthy, he's, I think, my number 5. And, again, I don't want to pay my number 5 defenseman. And we tie it. So Marchand from Couturier and Pasternak. So, finally. Marchand hadn't played well in a lot of these postseason games. So they go in offside. So we're halfway through the game. It's 2-2. And Joe Veleno is going to get a 5-minute fighting major along with who? Matt Grzelcyk. So Grzelcyk and Veleno each go for fighting. We win the draw and ice it. Puck is cleared out of play. There was Dylan Larkin with the puck. I got nervous there. Shot is saved. That one's held on to by Sweeney. Yeah, and I don't really know what to do about the goaltending. To my knowledge, there isn't a setting in the game that allows you to set goalie strategies, not how often they play, but your actual goalie strategies, like how aggressive they are, how often they come out of the net, how often they play the puck, how often they cover up when a shot's on them, that sort of thing. Like, I think it might be neat to have those sorts of strategies, but I don't think they're in the game. I could be completely wrong. I'll have to look, but I don't know what to do to improve my defense. I have a 5-star, I have a 5-star, a couple of 4-star defensemen, and people with some pretty high defensive ratings. And we take the lead. Elias Lindholm from Jake DeBrusk and Oliver Wahlstrom. So that second line finally getting it done. We're up 3-2. Lindstrom's one I'd like to bring back. I don't know that we're going to have the money once. We'll have to see what the salary cap looks like once. Although it's misleading because in the NHL the cap goes up in the offseason. So I'm going to have more money in the offseason, which means maybe we can sign Lindholm and then figure it out afterwards. I don't know if that's the smartest way to handle it, but if we want Lindholm back that badly, that might be something we have to consider. So we're going to go to the third, up 3-2. We're out shooting them 26-21, so Swayman hasn't played badly. And this one goes from Marchand, Newhook, and Lindholm. Pasternak's got 10 shots on goal in this game through 2 periods. All right, let's go to the third, see if we can hold on. And that was dangerous. Dylan Larkin behind the net, but we get the puck there. That one's held on to, or kicked out by Freddie Anderson, I should say. Saved by Swayman. Saved by Swayman. 4.5 minutes in, or 3.5 minutes in, and we are still up by 1. Looking to move on to the Eastern Conference semis. I don't know who we're playing. I think we're the only series still going on. Out to center ice. Nick Leddy has it for Detroit. That one's iced by the Bees. We get the puck. I'm always nervous when they start passing it around the zone. Just getting a drink. Just looking to kill the final 12. And I don't think there are any changes necessarily that need to be made to, as Detroit ties it. Kasperi Kapanen unassisted. So we are tied at 3 midway through the third now. I don't think there are any big... I don't think we're going to be making any big free agent signings. Lindholm is the one current free agent that we have that I'd like to bring back. I don't know that we're going to have the money to make a big splash in free agency. And I don't know where those changes would be. I mean, maybe if we made a move, if we moved DeBrusk or something like that, to free up some space, because we've got some youngsters that deserve some playing time too. Like, I'm starting to think that Newhook, or Gunther, frankly, deserves time on that second line with how well they've played lately, versus DeBrusk or Wahlstrom or somebody like that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we're that many steps away from being where we need to be. And I mean, this season obviously isn't even over yet. But yeah, I don't think we're that far off. Just need to figure out why our goaltending is below average every single year. I mean, I'll continue to put points in it at the end of the regular seasons and see if that makes a difference, but I don't know. So DeBrusk with 2 shots on goal there, down to the final 2. We're going to be looking at the best words in sports, Game 7 overtime. Oof. Final 20. Oh, man, Detroit, Joe Veleno from Kasperi Kapanen and Neil Pionk score with 13 seconds left. Oh, our season is going to end. That's painful. We have had a couple of series that were just painful like that. The other one was the Vegas series where we gave up a goal with a second left. Well, that sucks. Kasperi Kapanen had 3 points. I guess we can look at the stats. I don't really want to. That's depressing. We outshot them 38-30. Swayman stopped 26 out of 30. He wasn't very good. Freddie Anderson was good. And our season is over. So, yeah, we lose in the first round. That was unexpected and disappointing all at the same time. So now I'm going to go ahead and sim ahead to the end of the Stanley Cup Finals, and we'll look at all that stuff. We'll come back for awards, and I think it's just going to sim ahead here. So yeah, I'll be back when the season's over, and we'll look at things, and we'll move on. So I'll be back in just a minute. We're back. It is June 2nd, and your Stanley Cup champions are, I haven't even looked, to be honest with you, it was Winnipeg and New Jersey. Let's see. Are we there yet? Hall of Fame vote. Let's complete our Hall of Fame vote so we can select 4 players. Doug Waite, Keith Tkachuk. I'm going to vote for Glenn Wesley because I'm a Bruins fan. And Patty Verbeek. All right. Evaluation. Donovan Bretton is the top rated player out of the queue. Jan Kubicek. This doesn't make much sense. Let's look at... Okay, all right, so we're not there yet. All right, so here we go. You can see New Jersey, Columbus, Ottawa, and Detroit. Detroit beat Ottawa. New Jersey beat Columbus. New Jersey beat Detroit 4-1. And out in the West, Arizona, Winnipeg, the Kraken, and the Golden Knights. Golden Knights beat Seattle. Winnipeg beat Arizona. Vegas beat Winnipeg. So we got New Jersey and Vegas tied in Game 7. So let's sim through and see what happens in Game 7. Vegas. The Vegas Golden Knights are your NHL Stanley Cup champions. Now we got a ton of notes. All right. Salary cap has been extended by 10%. Connor Hellebuck is going to become a free agent. Do we dare? I don't know. Vancouver and St. Louis. Trades for some nothing. Anything interesting here? Doesn't appear that way. It's just a lot of World Championship stuff. Yeah, nothing interesting. All right, so it's June 4th. So now I'm going to sim ahead, to, I think it's, the awards. We got to go up to the awards. So I'll be right back when it's award time. All right, it's the 26th. It's time for the award ceremony and Hall of Fame runoff. I think I missed a couple of them. Oh, okay. Some head coaches were fired. Alan Vigneault was fired. Mike Sullivan let go. Dan Bilesma let go. Islanders and Blues made a deal. Chris Tierney, nothing major there. Free agency preview. Just scroll through this really quickly. We got a couple of big names on there. Lindholm and Giroux. Look to bring back Lindholm. Rasmus Dahlin, but he's probably an RFA. Ryan Suzuki. Cale Makar, but he's almost definitely an RFA. If he's not, I'll throw all of the money at him. Joel Eriksson Ek, 3.5 stars. What? Oh, okay. Well, said he was 3.5 stars. Cam York and Travis Sanheim. Yeah, and again, you just got to remember that most of these guys will be RFAs, and we aren't going to spend the money, or we're not going to. The teams will just match whatever we put out there. Thatcher Demko and Connor Hellebuck. All right. So let's delete those. Let's go to the award ceremony. All right, Hart Trophy winner is Alexander Barkov, 98 points. 39 goals, 59 assists, 98 points for Barkov. We got to look at the league leaders and stuff here in a minute. I forgot to do that. Conn Smythe, Shea Theodore. Calder Trophy, Jack LaFontaine, goaltender for Carolina. Norris Trophy, Theodore again. I think that's his second Norris Trophy. Lawson Krause wins the Selke. Tristan Jarry for Seattle wins the Vezina. Tom Fitzgerald won the Executive. And Alan Nasruddin wins the Best Coach. Alexander Barkov won the Ted Lindsay. Barkov won the Art Ross. Svechnikov won the Rocket Richard. Panarin won the Lady Byng. Matt Zuccarello the Masterson. Shea Weber the Messier. And Tristan Jarry the Jennings. So let's look really quickly at... So Barkov led the league in scoring, 98 points. Svechnikov 94. Larkin 93. Sagan 92. Point. Huberdeau, Draisaitl, McKinnon, McDavid, and David Pastrnak finished 10th. Svechnikov led the league in scoring. Victor Arvidsson had 45 goals. Pastrnak was third. Braden Point, 69 assists. Nice. Sebastian Aho, 62. Barzal, 60. Larkin, 60. Domi, Sagan, McDavid, Connor, and McKinnon round out the top 10. Tristan Jarry with a 219 goals against, 928 save percentage, led the league in goals and save percentage. No surprise, he won the Vezina. And then Jack LaFontaine, 41-17, as a 1.5-star goalie. I don't understand goaltending in this game. I really don't. But I'll keep going. So let's... we're going to move ahead, and I think we'll go up to... I'll go up to the 30th to make sure there's nothing I need to do, and then we'll switch over to January 1st and free agency. All right, it's July 1st, rather. I got really close to the mic there, sorry. I had a bunch of people retire. Anybody of interest? Ryan Getzlaf, Duncan Keith, Alec Martinez, Max Pacioretty, Matt Zuccarello, JVR, Jordan Stahl, Jonathan Quick. Wow, a lot of people retired. Freddie Anderson. Playoff race. Okay. So payroll is $91 million. A lot of scouts. A lot of coaches. All right. So a lot of scouts and coaches retired. I don't think anybody retired for us, but let's look real quick. We still have everybody there. If we look at scouting, we are all good still. Just check Canada. Yep. All right. So now it is time. Let's look at the free agent center. We have $9 million to spend. And is it just as easy as bringing back Lindholm and calling it a day? He wants $7.5 million. What does Hellebuck want? He probably wants, 8 or 9? 10. 10 years. It's a 4-year, $40 million contract. Demko wants 6 years at 8.2. I mean, I have to say we're okay with our goaltending. They just need to play better. I don't know what the issue is. So we're gonna stick with our goaltending. Defense, 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, so our 6 defensemen: McAvoy, Vakanainen, Carlo, McIsaac, Fox, and Bean. Do we have anybody down in Providence to be our 7th? That's Atlanta. If Olsen develops, he can be our 7th. We don't really have any 2-star defensemen, so it might be in our best interest to bring in a veteran defenseman. Forward-wise, we've got our 4 wings. Yeah, same thing with defense, or same thing with our forward line. We have just enough forwards, and nobody really down in Providence that's ready yet. Wiesblatt could be if he steps up to a 2-star. So I think at a bare minimum, we need 1 defenseman and 1 forward. So that being said, our defenseman can... No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go here. Ooh, that's a lot of free agents coming up. All right, so what do we have for defensemen that maybe won't be looking for a ton of money? Letang wants 5. Are any of these veteran defensemen looking for something reasonable? Like, we signed Gustafson a couple years ago to like a $2 million contract or something, and I was perfectly happy with that. Warren Fogle. Adam Pelech. We could bring old friend Adam Pelech back. He wants 6/3, which I'm not prepared to do. Brady Shea wants 5/3. Devin Taves. Jake McCabe. That's a reasonable price. But Grizzlick wants. I mean, if I'm gonna bring back McCabe, I may as well just bring back Grizzlick because his contract has dropped to 3.4. Brett Pesce is at 5. Travis Sanheim. No, he wants 5 as well. Montour wants 5. I mean, that's not a bad 7th defenseman, and he only wants 1/6. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So maybe we go with Ekman Larson, 14, 13, 16, 15. He wants almost 5. TJ Brody, Keith Yandel, Marco Scandella, John Moore. Yeah, we're into the Mark Giordano is 40, and he wants 4.3. So I think Capobianco, he's wants 1.6 for 3 years. I would be okay with that. All right. So now forwards. So let's go to the filter and let's remove goalies in defense and see what we're dealing with. I mean, I would love to just bring back Lindholm and call it a day. He's so good defensively. What does Stamkos want? Yeah, see, this, though, makes more sense. Only 1 year at 7.2 for Stamkos. He's coming off a 77 point. I think we go Stamkos. Bring him in and stick him on that center line. And we can go 1 year. Oh, right. He wants a no movement clause. Okay. No movement. So Stamkos 1 year at 7.5. We still have to look to move. That's not where I wanted to go. I guess it is. We still need to look to move on from Coyle. How's Carlo? Carlo was a -5 last year. This, I think, is going to be Brad's last season with us. What does he want? 5.9 next year, so he actually wants a pay reduction. McAvoy's up. We're going to have to bring McAvoy back. All right, well, let's sim ahead a day. Let's see what happens. All right, so what happened there? So Elias Lindholm signed with Calgary. We were able to sign Stamkos. Hellebuck signed with Washington, he got that contract for 1 year, $10 million. Elias Lindholm, what did he get? Yeah, that's a big contract. 7 years, about $50 million. I just couldn't bring myself to do that. Cal Foote, Islanders and Canadians. Philly Polka for old friend Ryan Spooner, who's still hanging around. Canada offered me the national team job. I'm going to go ahead and reject that. All right, so we're going to make him a center right off the bat. All right, so cool. We got Steven Stamkos to fill out our center line. We're waiting on the defenseman to agree to sign with us, and then that'll be that. We have to figure out what to do with Charlie Coyle. I can't afford, because I can't offer him because he's got a no movement clause. So I just have to hope that a trade offer comes in. Is there anybody else that? Let's look and see what we can get for DeBrusk. A lot. Well, at least a lot of offers, I should say. I don't know how much of it is good, but 22-year-old in the 7th, 24-year-old in the 7th, a 3rd, Brett Connolly. Niles Lundqvist. Lucas Johansson. He's 14s across the board. He's not bad. But that would be definitely a step down for us. Zayd Wisdom, that's a great name. 2nd round pick from Dallas. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is this. We're going to go here, and we are going to put DeBrusk on the trade block. Strictly a financial thing, and whichever one we get an offer for first, if it's a decent offer, we'll take it, because we're going to need to free up some money to re-sign some of these other players. So, all right, I'm going to now sim ahead. We got the draft coming up in, 6 days? Yeah, so we'll go ahead to the draft, and we will do that. So hang tight. Oh, Copa Bianco signed with the Jets, so we're going to have to go back in and look for another defenseman. A lot of the defensemen were snapped up. Matty Grzelcyk goes to Ottawa. Oh, maybe we could have just dissolved his contract. I don't know. So let's quickly look at the free agent center again, because we are going to need to pick up a defenseman. Let's see what's available. Not much. Max Lajoie. $14, 13. Ryan Murray's going to want a lot. 4.6. I mean, I just got to remember, I'm looking for a 7th defenseman. I don't need anything, lights out here. Looking for a strong defensive defenseman is really what I'm looking for. Nikita Zadorov, we could bring him back. He's only 29. What does he want? Okay, I can do that. Let's go to the draft lottery and see what we get. So the Rangers, Kings, Panthers, Islanders, Ducks, Oilers, Wild, everything's staying in order so far. Maple Leafs, Sharks, Caps. Ooh, Nashville. So that means, I think, what does that mean? That means Pittsburgh's going to get a top 3 pick. Montreal. Calgary drops from 1 to 4. Number 2 is Buffalo. The Blackhawks get the number 2 pick, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to get the number 1 overall pick in the draft. And maybe this is a time that we look to move up. We could potentially package DeBrusk in our first and see if we can move up. Maybe. I don't know. That's a possibility. Trade proposal from Arizona. Philip Barkland for that's just trash. So I'm not interested in that. All right, let's go to the draft. Where are we picking? 22nd. All right, so let's wow, so we have no 5-star talent in this draft. That's a bit of a surprise. All right, well, let's go. Next pick. Donovan Breton was the number 1 overall pick by Pittsburgh. Thomas Nordling goes to the Blackhawks. Elias Noster to the Sabres. Berkeley Catton to Calgary. Who's 5th? Montreal. Yeah, that's where I was thinking about going was Dubé, but I couldn't bring myself to trade with the Canadiens. So he's 13-11. I mean, there's just nothing here that really blows me away. Braden Yeager, and even him we're only at a C that we're confident that he's going to reach that point. He did have 55 points with Moose Jaw. Good player, somewhere around Claude Giroux. I mean, let's see. Let's see if we can trade offer. So that was Nashville. I'm going to give this one whirl and see if we can do this. If not, I'm going to move on. DeBrusk. And Don Sweeney not willing to move that draft. Okay, that's fine. So we're just let's pick until human. All right. So anything interesting happen? Linkfist went to Nashville. Yeager went to the Sharks a couple picks later. Do we see? But he's a D. I'm thinking, do we take someone who's maybe a little bit more ready? But we don't even know if he's that ready. And I hate drafting kids from the K because you never know when you're going to get them. $11, $12. But that's okay. We're going to take Ncio Lowakowski with the 22nd pick. Let's go again to human. Ryman. Yeah, 1.5 star, 13 defense. Felix Ryman. Come on down. That's actually one thing I want to do. Unsigned. So let's go here and let's look at these. Anybody who's at 2-star yet? Vidlick. We bring in Cole Miller. Does he want to? Yep, he does. Cool. Cole Miller, 14s across the board. I could get behind that. Cole McKay's not there yet. Drapo's not there yet. Giuliano's not there yet. Yeah, nobody else is really ready. All right, let's get back to the draft. It's our pick. Alexei Dontsov, again, another young kid out of the K. Good offense, good physicality. Oh, it's not even my pick. If he's still there, I'll take him. And he's not. All right. Oh, he is. He's right there. Okay. Dontsov with 1 3rd-round pick. We have another 3rd-round pick here. So what if we go with risky suggestions? Lindbergh. Safe suggestions. Kenneth Svensson. Meh. This is just a bad draft, man. Bad draft. Let's see who's picking now. The Sharks pick after us, or let's see if we can move back. Let's just find a team and see if we can. So the Bruins 3rd-round pick. Let's find a team out west. Calgary. They want to give up a player, don't they? They want to give somebody up. They want to give up a young player that has some potential, maybe. Like a Dmitry Zavgorodny. It's not interesting. Okay, so basically I'm going to get trash for a 3rd. So, I think we're looking at like 1-star Jacob Holmes. Okay. So I better just pick somebody and move on because I could spend hours doing this and you guys don't want to see that, I'm assuming. Or maybe you do. If you do, let me know. Next time I'll take you through the entire negotiations. Here we go. Anton Johansson, physical kid, 6'1", 221. That works for me. So now we don't pick until the 5th. We'll take a goalie. You can never have too many goalies in your system. Pick until human. Overager. Defenseman, 36 points in 59 games in the WHL. Sure, we'll take the overager. And I think we're done. Yeah, I think we are done. Yep. Oh, no, I guess I do have another pick. Are there any other overagers? There's a 19-year-old right there, but he's terrible. I guess we'll go Ilya Rogovsky because he's got 12 potential 12 offense. So, all right. So that's the end of the draft. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sim ahead now. And if we run into any deals, I'll come back and we'll go through them. I might spend some time seeing if I can move DeBrusk for a cheaper version of himself, and we'll see what we can do. So I'll be right back. All right, let's move on and continue. It is the start of the preseason, and before we do that, we need to take a look at what happened since we last talked. And I'm not sure that ultimately what I did is going to save me any money. It potentially could. It also could allow us to spend our money, I think, a little bit wiser. So let's look at the 2 deals that we made. So let's look at, I guess they're both here, so it doesn't matter. So the first deal is we sent Jared McIsaac to the New Jersey Devils for Jesper Boqvist. Jesper is a pretty solid offensive forward. He had 44 points in 79 games last season. Could play all 3 wing positions. Had 69 points in 74 games with Binghamton back in 21-22. So we pick him up as depth forward, and we were able to move McIsaac because of this right here. We sent Jake DeBrusk and a 4th-round draft pick to the Philadelphia Flyers for Ivan Provorov. Now, Provorov isn't really any cheaper than DeBrusk, but he's only under contract for 1 season. He doesn't have, I don't believe he has a no movement clause, so if we need to move him, we can. But what this does is this makes our defense just absolutely stellar at this point. McAvoy, Provorov, Bean, Fox are my top 4 forwards. So we're going to have McAvoy and Fox on the top line with Zadorov and Bean, or in Provorov and Bean on the second line. So our defense is absolutely stacked right now. So so we are a pretty loaded defense, and we have to set our captains. So let's do that. Let's look at skater ratings. I guess it isn't really skater ratings, but we'll make Stamkos our other alternate. So Sean Couturier is our captain with Marchand and Stamkos. Right now we've got 3 players in international, so we'll have the AI set up the organization. He called up an ass ton of people, but that's fine. And we're going to go ahead and sim ahead to opening night. We'll set the lines, and we will call it an episode. So hang tight. One more break, one more pause in the video. All right, we are back. We got a couple of housekeeping things to do. Sure, Anton Olsen can have number 56. We picked up a defenseman off of waivers, Ryan Johnson. Came from Buffalo last year, played 44 games for the Sabres. Potential 3.5-star defenseman. You can see physical, not great defensively, but he'll be good depth. A lot of players put on waivers. Some interesting names were put on waivers as well. Stuart Skinner. Always goalies on there. There are always goalies on waivers. So, for some reason, the Oilers waived Draisaitl and sent him down to Bakersfield. They also did the same thing with McDavid. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. You see Connor McDavid is currently in Bakersfield, so I wonder if they just sent him down there to get some playing time, but at any rate. So we got some roster stuff to do. So we have to... Couturier was injured for a little bit, so now we have to send 3 players down. Kalisti. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Constantino. Go on waivers. And Zadorov, I guess. That leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then we gotta. I guess we're not sending any forwards down. Nope, but we do have to dress people. So we got our 2, and do I want to? We want to bench Boakfist for Beecher. Yep. All right. So now we set our lines. Oh, this is a bit of a mess. So Marchand. Pasternak and Couturier is still that top line. Second line is going to be Newhook. Yeah, Newhook gets the move up. Do we go with Gunther? Nope, I think we stay with Wahlstrom. Yep, we're going to stay with Wahlstrom on that second line. So Newhook, Stamkos, Wahlstrom. The third line will be Coyle, Gunther, and Eklund, and then Miller, Kamel, and Cristal. That works for me. Our defensive pairings will be McAvoy and Fox, Provorov and Bean, and Vakanainen and Carlo. So this could be a good opportunity for us to look to move on from Carlo if we want to hang on to Provorov Provorov. So let's make Wahlstrom a sniper. Let's get some more shooting out of him. So we got Dangler, Playmaker, Sniper. No, I don't want Beecher as my top-line center. I want Couturier as my top-line center. So what is going on? Do I not? I don't have him dressed. Okay, that's the problem. I got to bench one more forward. I think Cole Miller is going to be benched off the bat. We'll see how Beecher does. So Couturier is my top-line center. Beecher is my fourth-line center. Shootouts. Wahlstrom. That works. Blackwood. Swayman. Power play. Pasternak. Stamkos. Marchand. No. McAvoy and Couturier. I want Stamkos running that second line with Provorov and Bean. And who's my second line? Wahlstrom. We'll move Gunther up there. No, I won't, because he's not that much of an offensive type guy. Bean, who do I want on the point? Do we give one of the kids a chance? There we go. Yeah, let's put Kamel on the left point. Let's see how he does. Playmaker and setup man, that works. All right, so let's copy all this over. McAvoy, Provorov, Bean, Kamel, Pasta, Stamkos, Couturier, and Wahlstrom, and then Couturier and Pasternak, Stamkos, and Marchand on the 4-on-3. And we'll stick with the D pairing. Actually, no. When we go 4-on-3, we'll do that and that. Yeah, I like that. Wahlstrom and Newhook out there as the third forward. Penalty kills. Couturier is going to be out there with Marchand. Man, I have a stacked defense. Stacked. McAvoy and Bean, or Provorov and Bean, rather. I guess on defense, though, I should probably go Carlo, right, over Bean, because he's a better defensive defenseman. That makes more sense to me. 3-on-4, McAvoy and Provorov. Carlo and Fox. Couturier and Stamkos. Couturier and Stamkos. 4-on-4. Couturier and Pasternak. And then Stamkos and Marchand. And then 3-on-3, Couturier and Stamkos. Pasternak, Marchand, McAvoy and Fox, and Provorov and Bean. All right. Goalie starts. We're going to continue to rotate. Backup starter frequency is a 4. Hottest goalie 2. Best that all looks good. And I think that's it. I think we're done. I think we are all set for, I'm going to save it so it doesn't crash. And that's going to do it for this episode. So when we come back, we'll finish saving. We'll take a look at who we're going to play first, I guess. So if we look at our schedule, we are playing Montreal in the first game of the season. The Canadiens, Carey Price and Caden Primo are their goalies now. They don't look to be very good. Arturi Letkinen is their best player, and he's on the trade block. Mason McTavish and Braden Dubé, who was their first-round pick, made the roster. Cole Caulfield out of Wisconsin is there, Brendan Gallagher. So they've got some talent, but they're not very good. So it should be an easy victory for us just based off of how loaded our team is here. But that's for next time. So, guys, as always, I appreciate you watching, hanging out with me, and just generally existing and being you wonderful people. So until we talk again, everybody take care. Bye-bye.